Hello my creative friends, Olga Soby here and welcome to new acrylic pouring video. I continue my Dancing Universe series and today I want to create our dear homeland Mother Earth. But first of all, I am super excited because today I want to share new tools with you that I'm going to be using for creating planets, nebulas and all kinds of spheres in my dancing universe. So previously I have been using this guy, and this is a large cookie cutter. So many of you guys asked me to share a link to this product, and the thing is, I bought it locally, so I do not have a link for this size of the cookie cutter. And I know that many of you are having a really hard time finding the cookie cutter in this size. So I have been exploring, trying to find some easy, accessible tools that can be used for spheres and can be easily found online and in most craft stores. And I finally found it. Yes, here's the set. So have you already guessed what this is? If you're watching this and if you're in the live chat, let me know. Drum roll. So this is the set of hoops for embroidering, and each one of these hoops comes with a pair that has this lock, and it's used for fixating fabric. So I am probably not going to be using the outside hoop. I don't know, maybe I will find a way to use it. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to be using all this. And the best part is that this set comes in a variety of sizes, and the biggest one is 14 inches. It's quite big. This is actually the biggest one I was able to find. So guys, big planets are coming. And the small one, I don't know, is 3-4 inches and 4 sizes in between. I will include the link to this one in the description under this video if you want to check it out. The downside of this set is that it's made out of bamboo. So some of the hoops for embroidering, they also are plastic, but I didn't find anything that's made out of plastic in a larger size. They all were like 9-8 inches max, and I wanted to go bigger. So this one is 14, but made out of bamboo, and the downside is that bamboo, of course, will stain, the acrylic paint will stain it. I have done some tests with a small guy, and you can see it's a little darker, so the paint does stain it. Honestly, it doesn't really matter for me. I mean, it doesn't have to stay clean as long as it does the job. So my best recommendation for using these hoops, if you also get some made out of wood or bamboo, just wipe them right after you're done using them. Don't let the paint dry on it, because if the paint dry right on it, it will build up and it wouldn't sit so flat on your panel or canvas. But if you just wipe it off and a little bit of paint absorbed in bamboo, you know, it doesn't matter. It's actually maybe even more personalized and creative if it gets some paint on it. So that being said, let's get to the process. I'm going to be using the second from the large today. This is a 12-inch one. And to give a company to my earth, I also want to add a moon to it. So we're going to do earth and the moon, and the rest of this can go for now. Composition-wise, I also want to try something new and interesting. So all of my previous planets, satellites, they were content inside of the canvas or panel. And today I want to have my Earth, I want part of it to be outside of the panel. So this is going to be approximately the position, and the moon's going to be somewhere here. I think this looks super interesting, so let's see how it turns out. I'm actually going to flip it for now, and this is going to be the layout, the horizontal one, and once it's done, of course, I'll flip it and show the final product to you. So let's see how it works. Let's get started. I approximately marked where my hoops are gonna go, just so I know where to add my paint. And let's add the secret message. Mother Earth is a secret message today. Let me rearrange my colors. So the order of the steps for me, again, I'm gonna first add colors and create the colors and the texture of my spheres, and then I'm gonna create the negative space. And a couple of you guys asked me, why don't I first create negative space and then create texture and color, add color inside of my shapes. And I have tried doing it this way and I find it to be a little more tricky. But I think maybe in some of the future tutorials I will show you this method as well. But today I want to stick to something that 100% works for me, so let's do it. Shall we start with the moon? Yeah, let's add colors of the moon first, then the earth. So some white, some silver, and some iridescent black blue would be the colors for my earth. Okay, this is good. So our blue planet, of course, lots of blue. Of course, some white. So the first blue was brilliant blue, then titanium white. This is the phthalo blue. So I want to add a touch of greenish blue. I like adding several different shades of blue just to create a more interesting color combination there, so it doesn't look flat. You also want to have a little bit of green inside. Okay, let's blow it out. So first I'm gonna do the moon, then the earth. I really love all these different forms here, but I feel like I have a little too much green. So I'm just picking it up. I want to have more blue instead. I might work on the planet a little more later, but for now I definitely like the balance between the blue, white and green much better, because before the green was a little overpowering. So next, adding our rings back. And the same as in my previous videos, scooping out all this excess paint around planet, just somewhere away, that you don't need to scrape it off the panel or canvas. It's actually nice to keep it. It will blend in nicely with the rest of the negative space color, but we don't want to have these colors just right outside of the shape. Okay, little accident just happened. It's not very little, so I pushed the ring really badly and it broke quite a bit here, you can see that. I'm not worried about the paint getting on this side, but this is not good. Well, you know what, I'm glad that this happened before I added my negative space color, because if I already had all of my black there, that would be a problem. That's much harder to fix, and right now it's pretty easy fix, so let's try to stay positive about it. Okay, so I'm gonna blow over those sections where this was the most effective. So I ended up changing almost the whole freaking thing, but I think it's okay. Let's just place it back. So again, carefully removing that paint. When you're doing this, it's quite important to keep the ring flat to the surface. So just press it down a little bit. And finally, let's add that black around. think this should be enough. So first I'm gonna use my blow dryer to just push the paint around and make sure the whole thing is covered. And after that, I think I might even add some iridescent color to my negative space just to give it a little more movement and make it a little more interesting. You know, when I just got those hoops, I was worried because they're not as tall as my previous cookie cutter, and I thought maybe when I'm gonna be blowing the paint, it will shift or it will, you know, just move or the paint will overflow because of the airflow, but nope, not a problem, really doesn't matter. This height works just perfectly. All right, so I do have a little bit of white and silver here. I like that. I'm not gonna remove it. Next, I want to add some of this iridescent black blue. It looks absolutely beautiful in a negative space. You've seen me using it for my moons. Scooping up some of that black that I blew off, just putting it back. Some sections where I feel like my black blue iridescent color is a bit too solid and I want to just add more black in between. I think this is looking really good. So the last step is to add some stars. Use my fan brush and just white paint for it again. Last step, let's remove the rings. So I'm gonna do the moon first. Lifting it to pop the film. I shifted a little bit. Shoot. Need steady hands when picking it up. See, I smudged that side a little bit. Oh, it's okay. I'll touch it up when dry. And let's remove this one. So beautiful. As I mentioned, don't forget to clean up the ring. Don't worry about the stain, just remove all the fluid paint as much as you can. Alright you guys, I will be right back when the painting is dry to touch up on this edge and just do maybe some few final perfection details, and then we'll show you fully dry finished results, so keep watching. Okay, the painting is dry, and first of all, I wanted to touch up the outer part of my spheres with some black paint to make the edges more sharp and crisp. I used my hoop to outline the design and I decided to use the inner radius for that. By the way, I only do all these touch-ups when the pour itself is fully dry. And for all these minor adjustments, I use the same mixed paint that I use for my pours. So it's also acrylic color mixed with water. I prefer to work with thin consistency even when doing the touch-ups. And when painting around your spheres, it's very important to use the same exact color that you used for your negative space. For the brushes, I like to use flat and round brushes, pretty small sizes with soft synthetic bristle. I find that this type of brushes give you the most control and you can create very fine details with them. If you want to see the set that I'm using, I will include the link in the description to it as well. For my earths, I also wanted to fill in a few sections with white and finally adding more white details in my atmosphere, to break in all that solid blue and just to add more interesting details. As I already showed in my other planet pour, you can totally use a straw technique as well to add some details and wispy elements to your pours. And the touch-up is done. Here it is, dry and covered with the finishing layer of epoxy resin. So my first earth painting, check mark. And new tools definitely worked very well for this one. So guys, happy Earth Day to you. It was just yesterday, so I made it on time with this painting. And how do you like the outcome? Let me know. I'll chat with you in the comments below the video. For me, I really love how my moon turned out, and the earth itself, with some small touch-ups, I think it looks a lot more balanced now. And you know, just by looking at it, you can tell that it's earth right away, just from the shapes and movement, even though it still remains super abstract. I also really like how I have this movement with the iridescent black blue dry with this beautiful serene shimmer. It adds so much beauty to the base. I love this direction of the movement. I think it really complements my composition with these two spheres. So overall, definitely happy with this painting, even though it came with some challenges. You know, for me, this painting is a reflection of the fact that we all are children of our beautiful planet, and I just really hope that one day we will learn to live in peace and balance with each other and with nature, of course. But as of today, we're not there yet. And with this painting, I also wanted to take a moment and remind you guys that right now we have a fundraiser happening, which we created together with Rings and Voila and Molly from Molly's Artistry. And we are raising money that will be donated to two non-profit organizations that help Ukrainians most affected by this devastating war that's happening in Ukraine right this moment. With your help, we are very, very close to our goal. And if you would like to support the mission by contributing to our fundraiser and receiving beautiful art in return, or if you just want to learn more about our project, please check it out. I will include the link in the description under this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know how do you like my earth and the moon and the stars. I'll chat with you in the comments down below. Have an amazing weekend, create with passion, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!